And we are starting class, but guess what? You guys are done with your grammar books. Woohoo! All done. We need to share some reactions here. Yay! So that's exciting news. We are not going to do anything in grammar because we're done with grammar. So we're going to just dive right in to, there we go, lots of partying going on. We're going to dive right into the binder. And this week we've been talking about and learning about poisonous animals. And these animals that are poisonous are not poisonous when they bite you, but they're poisonous if you eat them. That's the thing about these animals, which is interesting. So go ahead and get your binders and take out what you have in your front pocket. You should have all of the papers for poisonous animals in your front pocket there. And you should have your keyword outline. We started with the barracuda. And this is the Roman numeral 2 because we're starting on the body paragraphs. For this paper. And then eventually you're going to finish the body paragraphs and do an introduction and a conclusion here. So before we share our paragraph, we're going to keep working on it. And then we'll get to a point when we're completely done with this report, and then you guys can share out what you wrote. So give me a thumbs up if you have your outline out and all of your week 19 out and ready to go. Give me a thumbs up on that. Okay, I see that. Somebody's in the chat. Okay, so you have some catching up to do, Megan. It's okay. All right. We're going to have to keep going though today because we need to keep moving on this project, on this paper. So the next step I want you to do is turn this over to the back side here of this source outline that you started, and we're going to build for Roman numeral 3 next. So go ahead and put A on the top left like we've been doing. This is Roman numeral 3 this time. Remember, our body paragraphs are Roman numerals 2, 3, and 4. And then this is the way we write these types of reports. We write them from the inside out. So that's something I want you to remember forever about writing. Write from the inside out. So get those 3 body paragraphs done first, and then the introduction and the conclusion. Those are on the outside of the body paragraph. So that's what I mean by we write inside out. So we're going to set it up like we did before and just do 1 through 4 here. And 4 we'll put parentheses around as optional. And then go ahead and do B, Roman numeral 3, 1 through 4, and C, Roman numeral 3, 1 through 4. If you're writing on a small piece of paper like me, just make sure you write kind of small so you can fit everything inside the box. In the middle at the bottom under B is going to be the fused outline, Roman numeral 3. And this time, like we did on the front, we're just going to do 1 through 6. Try to space them out a little bit so you have plenty of room, and then that word clincher here. Okay, once you have Roman numeral 3 all set up, give me a thumbs up. Okay, I see that. Okay, okay, okay. Yay, okay, you guys are all set. Flip it back over to the front side again. Let's look at our possible topics. So we did the one on Barracuda because it was in all 3 articles that we got out of our binder last week. Now this is where we get to do a little of our own research. This is going to be pretty fun to do this. So look at what's left here. We have the pufferfish, the polar bears. Oh, you can cross out if you're done with it. Some of you are still working on it, but cross out barracuda if you're done with it. Quail, spur-winged geese, hawksbill sea turtles, and golden poison frog. Now, this is where you get to pick your next topic, and you're going to notice some of them are in two sources from our binder, and some of them only have one source, like the quail and the golden poison frog. Today, we are going to do some research online so that, let's say, for instance, you're interested in learning about the pufferfish. You're interested in learning how is that poisonous? Well, we know it's in A and B, so you would look up online your own source for source C. If, let's say, you are interested in learning more about the quail and how they're poisonous, we have one article in article A, and then B and C, you're going to have to look up two sources online to use for B and C, because the goal is to have three sources. And this is for Roman numeral 3 on the back. Okay. So if you already know which animal you're interested in researching, go ahead and type it in the chat. You can put pufferfish or polar bears or quail or spur-winged geese or hawksbill sea turtles or golden poison frog. Go ahead and type it in the chat which one you think you want to do for this paragraph. And we have another paragraph to do. We're just focusing on this next paragraph first. Mateo says pufferfish. Megan says polar bear. Sydney polar bear. Olivia, if you know, you can type it in there. Have you decided London, or are you still thinking about it? Oh, she typed it, polar bear. Oh, lots of people want to do polar bear. They're so cute. They're just so cute. What can I say? So here's what we're gonna do. Let's pick polar bear. So most of you are wanting to do polar bear, but it's okay if you pick something different, like Mateo, the pufferfish. You'll do it with the pufferfish, okay? But for my example today, I'll choose polar bear just because most of the students want to do that. So if hopefully you are on a device right now that you can open up the internet at the same time as you are in the Zoom. Yes, go ahead, Mateo.
I was wondering, are we going to do three body paragraphs?
Yes, we will. So we're just going to focus on the second body paragraph, and then a little bit later we'll talk about the third body paragraph. But yes, good question. So if you're able to go ahead and minimize the Zoom, if you know how to do that, and open up Google in a new tab, and give me a thumbs up if you're able to do that. Open up a new tab. Good. And just go to Google for a second here.
I don't know how to do that.
Okay, so to minimize, I see that, Mateo. So to minimize the zoom on your keyboard, you should see ESC. You see that it's on the upper left-hand side of your keyboard. ESC, it's called escape. If you click that or touch that button, okay, then you should be able to get to your internet. Can you see where your internet is? And by the way, if any of you have parents that don't want you to be on the internet without them, then just watch the video, okay? Watch me. You don't have to get on there, but hopefully your parent is home right now and they can just kind of keep an eye on what you're doing. I'm going to walk you through how to do some research here. So Olivia, were you able to get to Google? Not yet? That's okay. You might just have to watch me for this and then do it later, but you can keep trying, or maybe your mom or somebody can help you. Camila might know how to do it because she's done it before. You can check with her, see if she can help you. Okay, so I'm going to open up mine. And for me, I have a bunch of tabs open, so just forewarning you. That's just how I roll. I've got a lot going on. All right, so I'm going to open up Google. It should look something like this. Mine's pink, but just go to Google. And then in the bar here, I want you to type in, if you chose polar bear, type in polar bear for kids. If you picked pufferfish, put in pufferfish for kids. It's really important for you to put for kids because that eliminates a lot of ads and pop-ups that we don't want to see. Okay, so just put whatever animal you picked for kids in Google and then hit enter and it'll search for you. And that's a good rule of thumb, by the way, if you have other classes where you need to do research or look up things online, as long as it's okay with your parents, always check with them first. But type in for kids, whatever it is you're researching, it will help you so much with keeping it streamlined to what you need to do. Okay, I saw your note, Olivia. That's fine. You can get your iPad. Thumbs up if you see a list of links here, some videos and things about whatever animal you picked. Give me a thumbs up in the camera. Okay, good. So these are some great sites to go to. You have National Geographic. That's a really good one, National Geographic for kids. So the second one down for me says 10 facts about polar bears. I'm going to click that, but I know, Mateo, you're looking at a different animal right now. So see if there's a National Geographic for kids link in
How
that
about
list.
I have a National Geographic, but it doesn't have 10 facts. It just has National Geographic.
Yeah, you can click that and it's for kids, right?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. Aren't they cute? Oh, look at these polar bears. They're so cute. Oh my goodness. That is the sweetest picture. National Geographic, man, they have some amazing videos and pictures of animals. That's what these people do for a living. So that's just super cute. If I scroll down here, I'm going to see some facts about polar bears and 10 popular facts. There's a list here talking about their size, where they live. If I keep scrolling, they are adapted to survive in the harshest climates. They're mammals. Keep scrolling. Good swimmers. Okay. Oh, look at that picture. Oh my goodness.
Can I just change to polar bear because I don't mine doesn't have
Yes,
too many facts.
yes, you can. And we'll do some more research. You can change, you can do your third paragraph pufferfish if you wanted to, but yeah, feel free to change. These are cute pictures, so super cute. Okay, this is a great website to use for if you're doing polar bears, you have A and C, articles A and C from your book, and you can use this site for your B source. So that, remember, our goal is to have sources for A, B, and C on the outline. So now I'm just going to hit the backspace, or the, not the backspace, but the back arrow to go back to my list. And there's other sites here. I don't know if you see this on yours too, but there's also Britannica Kids. That's another great site to go to. You can click that one where it says Polar Bear Britannica site for kids. More great information here. If you scroll through this, there's categories and paragraphs you can look at. Thumbs up if you were able to click on the Britannica Kids site. Did you guys get to that? Okay, good. Did you notice, and feel free to unmute and ask me a question if you guys need help or have a question, but did you notice on Britannica, you've got some tabs right here, kids, students, and scholars? Go ahead and click students on that. And it gives you a little bit more details and more information, even some videos here. If you scroll through, there's a lot more information on the student tab because it's a little bit more for older students like you guys. Now, I will point out, oh, go ahead, Olivia.
Are we able to use more than one site?
So for the polar bears, you just need one site. So you can decide which one you want to use. It doesn't have to be the Britannica or the National Geographic. If you see another site in that list that you click on and you like that information, you can use that. But for polar bears, you only need one. Does that make sense?
Question. It doesn't talk, I don't see any part of like poisonous polar bears.
Yeah.
So can you just use this even though it doesn't talk about like poisonous, like,
Yes, that's a great question. I was actually going to talk about that, but I'm really glad you asked me that. So you're right. Your paper is focused on the poisonous animals and how they're poisonous. The good news is for polar bears, you have A and C, and those are going to focus on the poisonous parts of the polar bear. But you're right. I don't think on a website like this, they are not, I can tell you this, they are not going to talk about humans eating polar bears because well, first of all, they're endangered and you're not supposed to eat them, but that's probably why they won't talk about it on here. So you can just use information about their bodies, about their habitats, and whatever information you can find from the site. So we'll do a mixture of if you eat a polar bear's liver, I think it is, that's the part that's poisonous. Um, Make sure to include that when you're looking at the articles from your binder, and then use other facts about their bodies and habitat. Does that answer your question? Okay, good. Does everybody else understand what I mean by that? Okay, good. Yay. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you some time to work in class on this. So let me go back to my outline here. I'm going to share this again. And make sure you have, if you're doing polar bears, it sounds like now everybody wants to do polar bears, which is good. So I want you to find Article A and C for polar bears. So look in your binder, get those out in front of you. You should have them labeled at the top, A and C. So mine is erased because I use this for other classes as well. But here's A. You should have an A at the top of this one called risky food. And then down to the bottom of this page here is where we circled polar bears. This is the paragraph I want you to read. I'm going to have everybody read this by yourself. It continues on the back. And remember, A goes with A. Sorry, this one on the back of your Barracuda outline. So let's start by putting polar bears here next to Roman numeral 3. This is on the back of your other one. So polar bears, start by adding that. And then on the fused as well, polar bears. And then I'm just going to do a comma and a space because we can think of one more word for the fused. Okay, so back to Article A. I'll just write this in so it's super clear for you guys. Risky food is the name of the Article A, and the information you find from here matches your A on your outline. So you don't need to read the first paragraph. You can ignore this for now about the pufferfish. Jump down to where it says polar bears, and you're going to read this paragraph by yourself, front and back. And your goal is 3 or 4 facts that you find from Article A, focusing on the fact that they are poisonous if you eat them. Focus on those facts. Okay, we'll save the other facts like where they live and their body types and their habitats and all that stuff. Save those facts for the online source. Focus on what part of the polar bear makes people sick. Okay, so I'm going to give you some time to read this and fill out this outline by yourself right now, and let me know if you have any questions. Did you finish that one, Sydney? Are you still, you did? Okay, good. Did you get 3 or 4 facts on that one?
I got 5.
Oh, right here for A?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. What did you put for your 5 facts?
I put weigh 800. On number 2, I put manage, hunt, eat. On number 3, accept their livers. And on 4, I put people eat livers.
People eat livers on the last one?
Mhm.
Okay, because I wonder if on that last one, maybe you should mention some of the symptoms back here of what happens when you eat the liver.
I can put sleepy, nauseous, and grumpy.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I think that's a good idea. How about you, Olivia? Did you finish your outline for that? Not yet? Okay, try to finish. I'm going to give you guys another minute. If you don't finish, though, it's okay. You can finish for your homework this week. I have other things I want to talk about. Okay, good. I see that, Olivia. Okay. Like I said, if you are not finished with A, that's okay. You can work on this as part of your homework, but you know what to do. Just make sure the information you write for your outline comes from the paragraph about polar bears in Article A. A goes with A. All right. Let's jump over to C. So we're going to wait on B. B is coming from online. We're going to do that in a minute. Jump over here to C and find Article C next. Right here. Yes, London.
I just finished C.
Oh, you did C. Did you do both A and C?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Nice. Okay, awesome. So on the back of C, so just sit tight for a minute, and then I'm going to go ahead and just read this paragraph here. This one is on page 168. So find 168. It's the back of C. That's where the paragraph about polar bears begins. This time, as I read, find information you don't have yet on your outline. Look for something different here. So it says, and you're going to look for 3 or 4. Polar bear livers are full of vitamin A. This vitamin is important for our bodies, but when it is eaten in high quantities, it can become deadly. Eating polar bear liver can slow victims' body down and cause headache and bone pain. Bad poisonings can cause victims' skin to peel off. Ooh. in places, exposing the flesh underneath. The worst cases can send victims into a coma or even kill them. Vitamins are good for you, but perhaps not in such large quantities. Ew, kind of creepy. So hopefully you had a chance to underline a few things. Go ahead and write down under C your keywords from the facts that you underlined. I'll just
I'm
give you.
never gonna eat polar bear at all.
I agree with that. I think it's actually illegal too now. I noticed that on Article A, it talked about like early Europeans. Maybe they did in the early years. But yeah, I'm with you, Mateo. Yeah. I'm gonna I'm gonna work on this too. So it says it's full of vitamin A. I'm gonna put that on here, vitamin A. Okay, so I'm gonna keep mine kind of short. I just decided to put full vitamin A. I'm talking about the liver. I know that that's what we're focusing on here. So too much A equals poison, coma, even kill. I didn't want to put the part about the skin peeling off, but if you want to put that, go for it. All right. This is where I'm going to give you a minute to look at your website that you picked. So if you're still working on C, that's okay, keep writing. If you're done with A and C, go ahead and go back to your internet where we were earlier. And let's pull up that website. And then go ahead and start looking for facts about polar bears. Now, they're not going to talk about the liver being poisonous and all that. So you don't need to worry about finding that. But just read through some of the paragraphs and find some facts. You only need 3 or 4 if you find 4, but keep it to 3. It makes it a little bit easier to choose. So you can use Britannica, you can use National Geographic, or whatever site you want to use from that list, polar bears for kids. And let me know if you have any questions, okay? Also, let me know when you're done. Okay. Yeah, you can, Megan. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's okay. I'm going to show you mine again here in case you want to write down some of these things. Um, no problem. Here's A in case you want to look at that one, but hopefully you're about finished with B. And here's what I put. Arctic, Canada, Alaska, thick fur, blubber, excellent swimmers, webbed feet. So just a little bit about their body types and a little bit about the bear themselves. So you can keep working as you're listening to me. And I'm okay if you need to write that down, Megan. Remember for the fused, this is when we combine A, B, and C. Now notice we have at least 9 facts, but we only need 6. This is where it gets a little hard because you got to think ahead. What are the best 6 that I can put here? I might choose a fact to put up here. Polar bears, I might put like Arctic here. And maybe Canada, I think is, I'm going to abbreviate with can. And then Alaska, I think it's A-S-K. I can't remember how to abbreviate Alaska. Is it A-K? A-S? Let me look that up really quick. I might put that for my Roman numeral there. How to abbreviate Alaska. Oh, AK. Forget about the S. AK, that's how you abbreviate Alaska. And then for me, it makes sense to kind of talk about their bodies first and then about the dangers of eating it. So I might choose thick fur and blubber. I might copy that one. Remember, you're copying from your facts from above. Okay, thick fur, blubber. I might do that. Excellent swimmers. One. You get to decide what you want to put for your facts down here. You're going to choose your favorite. I'm going to put webbed. And then my foot that I drew. That's a foot, in case you wondered. So I already used these in the middle for my B. Now I'm going to talk about like if you eat them. So you're going to pick from A and C now and combine them down here. Remember, the fused outline is a mix. You did that for your country paper, so I think you know what you need to do here. But make sure you group together things that make sense to go next to each other, like all the things about their body first, and then go into what happens when you eat them. Now, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 left, so you can combine any from A and C down here at the end. Do you guys have any questions about that? Okay, so go ahead and finish copying down what you already have up here on your fused. Did you already copy it, Sydney? Make sure you fill in your fuse. That's going to be a combination of A, B, and C. I started with B about their bodies, and then I'm going to combine some things here about what happens when you eat them. So I might start with this one where I put safe and then a little Pac-Man except liver. So that means safe to eat except for liver. I think that one makes sense to go next. And then since I'm talking about the liver, I might jump over here. That's where, and C, we learned about how the liver is full of vitamin A, and that's poisonous, right? If we have too much vitamin A. So I might jump over here to C and go, okay, that makes sense if I say full vitamin A. And I might put the next one, too much A equals poison. And then maybe I'll put this part over here, nausea, grumpy headaches. I'm just giving you my ideas, but you can put what you want to put on your outline. You don't have to copy mine. You want to write this down, Megan? Oh yeah, you don't have to talk about that. Okay. I don't think I mentioned that in mine, so you're good. This is AK. I messed up right here, so ignore that. It's just AK for Alaska. Okay. It's okay.
I looked up where polar bears live, and it's like in a hole like all over the world on the top.
Oh wow, yeah, that's the Arctic. Yep. It's pretty cool, huh? Nowhere near us. It's too warm here for them. All right, I'm gonna have you pause on this. If you're not done with this, that's okay. And Megan, you can even do a screenshot if you want to take a picture of it. You can do that. Um, and I want you guys to get out another piece of white paper. If you have some in the back of your binder, that's great. If you don't, get a piece of printer paper again. I'm going to use printer paper again. And we're going to set up Roman numeral 4 before you go. So get out your white paper and let's set up Roman numeral 4. All right, so when you have your paper, the first fold is like this. It's like a taco fold. Remember how it's like this normally? But we're going to fold it this way, long and narrow first. Okay, good. I saw that. Megan, you're good. Go ahead and get out a piece of paper though, and let's set this up. Here, I'll take this off the share so you guys can see it. Fold it this way first. And then remember in thirds, so you're going to go past the middle. And then the other side goes on top of that. So fold one end in past the middle and the other side on top. So it ends up looking like this if you're using a small piece of paper. Okay. Good. That's right, Olivia. That's right. Good. Thank you, Sydney. Taco fold first this way, and then fold in the two ends on top of each other. All right, and then we're going to set up Roman numeral 4. Remember, this is your third body paragraph you're working on. So Roman numeral 4 here, we're going to do it like we did before with A. Roman numeral 4 is an I and a V like that. And then 1 through 4. B, Roman numeral 4 again, IV, and then 1 through 4. And C. Do the fused outline again here. For Roman numeral 4. Don't worry if you're still writing, take your time, it's okay. Okay. Now you're gonna, when you're done with that, go back to your list of topics. On that first page that we did last week, we did barracuda and we did polar bears. Now you get to pick the third one. You get to pick another animal. So in the chat, look at what's left here: pufferfish, quail, spur-winged geese, hawksbill sea turtles, and golden poison frog, and put in the chat which animal you want to write about next for your Roman numeral 4. Okay, sea turtles, that's a good one. Hawksbill sea turtles. So for yours, Megan, you would put hawksbill sea turtles up here. Sea, whoops, turtles. And then go ahead and write that next to every one of the Roman numeral 4. What else do you guys, I'm looking at the chat, what else? You guys like the idea of the sea turtle one, or do you want to pick a different one? You can just unmute and tell me if you want to, that's okay. Okay, pufferfish. And you actually found a picture of one. That's pretty good. An emoji. So for yours, London, put pufferfish, 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 pufferfish on everything, okay? That's for Roman numeral 4. And Megan, yours would be hawksbill sea turtles on A, B, C, and fused on all the Roman numerals, okay? Ooh, and I like that you guys are picking different ones. Mateo is going to do golden poison frog or pufferfish. You can choose either one. And if you guys want to wait and do the research to see which one you like better, that's okay with me too.
Yeah, I want to see if which one has like more facts and stuff.
Okay. So, I will say that pufferfish will have more facts about eating them. You might have trouble finding some facts about that online, but you might be able to find something. Because fish are not as endangered as like the polar bear. That's a little different. So, and then the golden poison frog is only in C, so you would have to look up 2 sites for that. Okay, that's okay. I mean, you can. But this is where you guys are going to pick your own. And you're still deciding to, it looks like Olivia, that's cute. That's fine. Either the turtle or the frog. So for Megan and possibly Olivia, if you pick the sea turtle one, the hawksbill sea turtle, it's only going to be in article B in your binder. So you would need to find 2 articles, one for A and one for C. Does that make sense? You'll look up 2 different articles. So let's try that. If you pick the sea turtle one, let's try that, see what we can find. So I'm going to go back to this one. I'm just going to go back to my search, and instead of polar bear, I'm going to put hawksbill sea turtle facts for kids or sea turtle for kids. Either way, I'm going to pick that one. Ah, that's cute. He's in Finding Nemo, I'm pretty sure. That type of turtle. So if I scroll down, by the way, whenever you Google anything anymore, AI overview is always the first thing that pops up. You can look at that. That's okay to look at the facts that they list there on AI. AI sometimes isn't always accurate because it's still pretty new for us. And if your parents don't want you to look at AI stuff, you don't have to. You can scroll past it. And then here's one called World Wildlife Fund. Teach kids about sea turtles. I'm going to click that one. This one, it looks like more like a lesson plan. So this site doesn't really look like it would work for what you want to use. You might use some of those links. You can check with your parents about that one. There's one, this one, Kids Kiddle. Have you guys heard of Kids Kiddle before? Sydney?
Do I click on the geographical?
Yep, you can do the click on the National Geographic one. As long as your search is for kids, you guys are safe to click on those links, okay? This one looks like it would be a good one. This is the Kiddle. If you haven't heard of Kiddle, that's a great website for learning about animals and things like that.
I think I'm probably gonna do the poison dart frog.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of information in here. So, okay. Let's just look at the poison dart frog one or the golden poison frog just to see what that looks like. Golden poison frog for kids. So I see that it did pull up poison dart frog. It's probably just another name for it. Those guys are cute, aren't they? I'm gonna look up this Kiddle one. They're kind of cute, but I don't think I want to go around one of those guys. Now this one is poisonous. I don't think from eating it. I don't think so. I think if they touch them, right?
Yeah, I
Mateo?
know the poison dart frog, if they jump on you and touch your skin, they kill you.
Okay. So this one, you wouldn't talk about eating them. This has different facts about that. So this would be a good one to look up. All right, so you guys are going to do this on your own. Roman numeral 4, which is your third body paragraph. You're going to do your own research on that and fill in here for A, B, and C. Remember, check to see you want to use what you have in your binder first. Use those articles first, and then whatever you're missing, you can look online and search up facts for the ones you're missing. Make sure when you do the fused that you group together the facts that go together, okay? So it'll flow in your paragraphs. All right, and then next week we'll talk about the introduction and conclusion. So your job this week is to write 2 more paragraphs about these poisonous animals. Okay, you already have paragraph 1 of your body paragraph, and then you're going to add 2 more. And the next week we'll complete it and add the introduction and conclusion for a 5-paragraph essay. So this week you're working on 2 paragraphs. Does that make sense? Get all the research on there. All right, any questions before you go? No? You guys are good to go then. Have a great
One
week.
question actually.
Oh, go ahead, Mateo.
After when does school end for the
Oh,
writing? Is
good
it next
question.
week?
No, the last day of school for you guys is going to be the last Tuesday in May. So that will be, and I'll send your parents emails about that. May 26th is your last day of school. And then if you signed up for me for the summer program, that will start the very next week in June. So it'll just be different. It won't be classes, it'll be tutoring after that. So your last day of class like this will be May 26th. So that's a good question.
Okay,
Anybody
bye.
else? Okay, you're welcome. Bye, you guys. See you next week. Have a good one.